Good afternoon. It's the 5th of September 2022. Welcome to Lunchtime News here on TV1 for the News First team, where the people come first. I'm Senita Senanai. Before we take a look at the stories in detail, let's take a look at the headlines.
Kumaravelgama launches new political movement. Litro gas to drop gas prices today. Offshore patrol vessel P627. The recent addition to SLN fleet sails from Colombo from Seattle, United States. Sacred grounds to go dark following electricity tariff hike. Panic after elephant sighting on road leads to accident. 1 dead. Canada stabbings. Police hunt suspect after killing spree in Saskatchewan.
On to your top story this afternoon. The party headquarters of the Lanka Freedom Party, led by parliamentarian Kumaravelgama, was declared open in Battaramulla earlier today.
Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga graced the opening of the new party office. Several dignitaries, including parliamentarians Anura Priyadarshana Yapa, Chandima Veerakkudi, Partli Champika Ranavaka, also took part in the event.
We need a government that implements a people-friendly policy framework. We have reached that point. The people no longer accept a process of voting for someone and then voting for another 5 years later. For 7 decades, we simply elect someone and then wash our hands from the process, allowing them to do as they please. Sri Lanka was governed by respectable people until 1977. There were some who came up from time to time after 1978. During my administration, the country moved forward, and there were flaws, and those flaws were not as bad as it is today.
Leader of the second generation movement, Windu Vijayveera, expressed the following views regarding the current state of the economy and the budget.
The new budget brought the retirement age to 60. The person who read that is above 70 years. His leader is nearing 80 years of age. People working around him are also 60 to 70 years old. Shouldn't that apply to you as well? We don't believe this budget will bring solutions to the problems of the country. Now they're trying to gain a huge boost by increasing the income of government entities. They're trying to boost the electricity supply from the CEB by 60% and sell it to some other faction. Kerosene is the most widely used fuel. It was distributed as a concession. They are trying to increase the profits and sell it to someone. It is hard to believe these people will provide proper solutions to the people.
The Samagi Jana Balavegya says that a crisis has arisen within the government with the arrival of with the arrival of ex-President Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
I don't think that the government can continue for more than 4 to 5 months because of the crises inside the government. Former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has come to Sri Lanka. This poses a great threat to President Ranil Wickremesinghe due to the power struggle within those two groups. President Ranil Wickremesinghe is facing the biggest threat because he is not operating to the needs of the SLPP. He will face a threat from within. The Association of Health Professionals alleges that during the power conservation projects, several sectors that directly affect the welfare of the public have collapsed. As of now, 187 laboratory scientists have not been appointed, stating that the government does not have funds. So by keeping the new graduates at home and by increasing the retirement age, they are trying to make the life of professional service disappear. However, medical laboratory scientists, paramedic service, nursing superintendent posts, matron posts are still vacant. This is about 30 to 40. This can be addressed by providing a special service to them. However, taking the entire service into consideration, if the retirement age is changed for only specific service, is humiliating the government's principles. So we are requesting President Ranil Wickremesinghe not to allow this. There were people who did this. However, whether willingly or unwillingly, the presidents who are currently being appointed do not have such power.
විහිළු කරපු ජනාධිපතිවරු හිටියා කැමැති හෝ අකමැති දැන්පත් වෙන ජනාධිපතිවරුන්ට එහෙම කරන්න බලයක් නැහැ. එහෙම කරන්න අයිතියක් නැහැ.
Venerable Professor Madhagoda Abeyatesatero says, with electricity tariffs on the rise, the time to leave places of worship, including the temples, in the dark is not far away. The electricity bill of temples this time around has increased fivefolds. It was increased by 500%. There are 5 electricity bills in the temple. Last month one of them was 12,000. This month it was 60,000 rupees. Area residents have also donated to our Piriven. Those days state sponsorship for lamp oil was given to temples. We feel that sponsorship is not lost from the government side. The entire electrical system in a temple from a ceiling fan is operated by the followers. We feel that this will neglect the prominence given to places of worship, including temples and other religious places. Members of the Sangha across the country are severely inconvenienced.
අපිට කල්පනා කරන්න වෙනවා රටේම හාමුදුරුවෝ බරපතල අපහසුවකට පත් කරන කාරණාවක් බවට මේ පත්ත තිබෙන නිසා.
An 18-year-old boy died in a car accident after the driver panicked following the sighting of a wild elephant close to the Puak Pala Forest Reserve in Bibila.
The tragic accident took place on Sunday night, and a spokesperson for the Bibile hospital said that a father-son duo were admitted to the hospital with serious injuries. Unfortunately, the 18-year-old son succumbed in hospital while his father remains under hospital care. The accident had taken place when they were returning home from a tuition class. An investigation is underway.
The Met Department says that showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts.
Heavy showers above 100 millimeters may occur at some places in western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathura districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern province. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere in the evening or night. Strong winds of about 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers.
A tense situation between the police and the people was reported from Katugaskota today. The unrest arose when the police had attempted to remove a group of street vendors in the middle of the city.
The Kandy Municipal Council and Katugaskota Police Environmental Unit said the attempt was carried out as prior notification was issued. The Municipal Council points out that removing the street stalls will be convenient to pedestrians. However, street vendors point out that this decision has left them helpless. The street vendors also allege that even the shop space at the new retail complex, which has been opened for trading near Manik Kumara Wholesale Complex, have been given to associates of the authorities.
Litro Gas on Monday announced the revised prices of domestic gas cylinders that will be in effect from midnight. The new prices are as follows. A 12.5 kilogram gas cylinder, 4,551 rupees. A 5 kilogram gas cylinder, 1,827 rupees. A 2.3 kilogram gas cylinder, 848 rupees. In more local news, the Alubomulla police arrested 2 suspects who were transporting nearly 9,000 narcotic pills valued at over 1 million rupees in a van and a car in Hiranapanadura on Sunday. The suspects are residents from Malamulla and Hirana areas. Police investigations revealed that a card with 10 pills is sold for 1,000 rupees. The suspects will be produced to the Panadura Magistrates Court on Monday. In more local news, a motorcyclist sustained serious injuries following an accident on Monday after a collision with a Sri Lanka army bus.
An army bus transporting military personnel from Alutgama to the army headquarters wore off to the opposite lane of the Gaul Road and collided with a motorcycle that was heading from Panadura. The motorcyclist, who sustained severe injuries, was admitted to the Kaluthara Teaching Hospital. The accident led to traffic congestion on one side of the road, which was also later brought under control by the police. The accident led to traffic congestion on one side of the road, which was later brought under control by the police. Further investigations are being carried out by the Kaluthara North Police.
The offshore patrol vessel P627, the recent addition to the Sri Lankan Navy fleet, sailed for Colombo from Seattle, United States.
The offshore patrol vessel P627, which was formally handed over to the Sri Lanka Navy by the US Coast Guard in October 2021, departed for Sri Lanka from the port of Seattle, United States on 3rd September. Sri Lanka Navy officially took delivery of the ex-United States Coast Guard cutter USCGC Douglas Munro, provided by the United States on 26 October 2021. Subsequently, she was designated with the pennant number P627 in the Sri Lanka Navy fleet and is scheduled to be commissioned with a particular ship name after her arrival in Sri Lanka.
Sirasa TV and the Education Ministry joined hands to launch a program to create one of the longest paintings in Sri Lanka. The painting will be designed by school students, and today's leg took place at the Vaunia Central College.
United We Stand is a theme for the longest painting by Sri Lankan school children that is being created for World Children's Day 2022, which falls on the 1st of October. The work of art is expected to be 1,000 feet long, and the launch of the painting took place at the Independence Square in Colombo on Wednesday. 2 paintings from each of the 25 districts will be brought together to create one massive painting.
In international news, at least 10 people have been killed and another 15 injured in a stabbing rampage in Canada.
The victims were found in 13 locations in the James Smith Cree Nation and nearby village of Weldon. 2 suspects named Damien Sanderson and Miles Sanderson are on the run and considered armed and dangerous. Residents have been told to shelter in place as a massive manhunt continues across a huge geographical area. Checkpoints have been set up with police checking travellers' identification, and drivers have been urged to not pick up hitchhikers.
The United Kingdom will learn on Monday who will be its next Prime Minister, with Liz Truss the favourite to succeed Boris Johnson and take charge as the country battles a spiralling cost of living crisis.
The result will be announced later on Monday after Foreign Minister Truss and her rival, former Finance Minister Rishi Sunak, spent summer rallying support among the Conservative Party members who cast the final vote. If she wins, Truss will become the UK's 3rd female Prime Minister following Theresa May and Margaret Thatcher. The 47-year-old has consistently been ahead of 42-year-old Sunak in polling among the estimated 200,000 Troy members eligible to vote. The UK is gripped by its worst cost of living crisis in generations, with inflation soaring into double digits and energy prices shooting up on the back of Russia's war in Ukraine. Millions say that with the bills set to rise by 80% from October and even higher from January, they face a painful choice between eating and heating this winter.
In your sports news, chasing a target of 182, Mohammad Rizwan smashed 71 of 51 balls to propel Pakistan to a 5-wicket win over India in an Asia Cup Super 4 clash at the Dubai International Stadium.
posted a strong total of 181 runs. For the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs, Kohli hit a brilliant 60 off just 44 deliveries, hitting 4 boundaries and a 6. Ravi Bishnoi struck 2 important boundaries as India ended their innings on a positive note. Pakistan had got off a shaky start after Babar Azam was dismissed in the 4th over by Ravi Bishnoi. Rizwan and Mohammad Nawaz then stitched a crucial partnership, adding 84 runs for the 3rd wicket, with Pakistan needing 26 of the last 2 overs. Bhuvneshwar Kumar leaked 19 runs in the penultimate over as the match slipped away from India's grasp.
In a thrilling 27-lap encounter at the Misano World Circuit, Francesco Bagnaia ignited his title chase with a minuscule 0.034 second victory over his 2023 factory Ducati teammate Enea Bastianini, as the two Italians asserted their dominance on home turf.
Pecco Bagnaia was bulletproof in Ducati's backyard as he took the lead from Bastianini on the 3rd lap after pole sitter and initial race leader Jack Miller crashed out on P1 on lap 2. From there to finish, Bagnaia was constantly hounded by the chasing pack, first from Apria's Maverick Vinales and finally by Bastianini, whose infamous late race pace was on full display as the two Italians left Vinales in their wake. On the final lap, Bastianini made a lunge at turn 4 and very nearly clattered into the back of Bagnaia, running wide and giving what looked like a race-winning advantage to his future teammate. Bagnaia wrote 2 new records for himself at Misano. The win, his 4th in a row, is the first time an Italian has done so since Valentino Rossi in 2008, and the first time any Ducati rider has done so in the manufacturer's history, placing him ahead of Ducati's only world champion Casey Stoner.
Posing a serious threat in this World Championship charge.
Max Verstappen won a titanic fight for pole at the Dutch Grand Prix, shading Charles Leclerc by just 0.021 seconds.
Lights out and away we go.
The Red Bull driver looked to be in a formidable form early in qualifying, but Leclerc went faster on the first runs in the final session in his Ferrari. Leclerc improved on his final run, only for Verstappen to pip him, sending the orange-clad capacity crowd at his home race into joy. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz snuck ahead of Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton for 3rd. Hamilton had been 3rd on his first run in the final session, but he was unable to complete his final lap when Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez spun at the final corner to bring out the yellow flags, preventing the 7-time champion from improving. Perez hung on to 5th, his spin also preventing Hamilton's teammate George Russell from potentially beating him. Verstappen, 98 points clear of Leclerc in the championship, was thrilled with his 2nd consecutive pole since the historic track returned to F1 calendar last year after a gap of 36 years.
Yes!
And that brings us to the end of this edition of Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Sanita Senanayake. Take care and stay safe.
At the KTN, at the Radiant, Cyber Avakashe Kalabana, Wat Salakuna. Newsfirst YouTube channel. Adama subscribe Karanna. Newsfirst, Janatava Samaga.